25 years later with Gary Bettman. Welcome to Focus. My name is Ray Lalonde, frequent collaborator on RDS and across Quebec on Cogeco Radio. I'm a sports business analyst, consultant, keynote speaker with over 30 years in the industry. And this is Focus, my daily podcast that deals with the business of sports. Here we go. I want to talk to you about Gary Bettman. He joined the NHL 25 years ago on February 1st, 1993. And last Monday night in Toronto, he was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. Amazing how those 25 years have gone by so fast. Amazing the list of accomplishments. He's been there basically 25 out of 100 years, roughly, of the NHL. A quarter of a century and a quarter of the life of the NHL. So he's got to be, without a doubt, in my opinion, one of the greatest builders the league has ever had. So no wonder he got into the Hall of Fame. A little bit surprising that it happened while he's still active, but that's not the first time that's happened. John Ziegler and Clarence Campbell, both of them, as leaders of the NHL, were inducted into the Hall of Fame before they were retired. So Gary Bettman deserved it. There's no question about it. It's hard to find someone who's had a greater contribution to the health of the league. The league is stronger. There's more parity. The league is more global. Minor hockey in the United States has never been more popular. And there's something to do with the leader in New York. He's got a great team around him, starting with Bill Daly. More importantly, he's modernized the NHL office. And when he moved from the NBA to the NHL in that week of February, I remember vividly because I was arriving to start my younger career as a manager at the NBA office in New York City. The same week that Gary Bettman moved from the NBA to the NHL. And he first handed the Stanley Cup back in June 1993 to the Montreal Canadiens. That's the last time a Canadian team has actually won the Stanley Cup. But from the moment he took the league under his helm, 24 teams back in 1993, and there are 31 today in 2018. Revenues were $437 million. Today they are over $5 billion. The salary cap that he put in place in 2005 after the lockout started at $39 million. It's more than doubled since. The cost of an expansion franchise. In 1993, the Ducks and the Florida Panthers came into the NHL. That cost $50 million. The next likely team will be Seattle in 2019, or maybe actually this December coming up, will cost $650 million. He's responsible for the launch of the Winter Classic, the relationship with NBC Sports, the globalization, games in China, games in Europe, all over the world, developing fans and cultivating the NHL brand. Like I said, parity. Parity gives hope to fans to stick with it longer because there's a greater chance you're going to make the playoffs. You may think it devalues the product. I actually think it keeps people more engaged. And we're in a world of engagement. You need to hold on to those fans before they turn to something else. Now, he's also been the commissioner at the helm of the league, overseeing 2 lockouts. One work stoppage canceled out an entire season. Who does that? Now, it's not his fault more than it is the Players Association fault. But at the end of the day, fans were out of hockey for 1 full year. He also was a big part of the fact that the NHL players did not participate in the 2018 Winter Olympic Games. And he's also overseeing this tentative agreement involving the Players Association and several dozen former NHL players that have head injuries and issues, health issues, in a settlement that I find extremely low. $19 million, $22,000 per player, plus medical care and fee and insurance, but still so far below what people need to have a quality lifestyle going forward after suffering as hockey players. But that's my opinion. My point is that Gary Bettman has been a tremendous builder for the sport of hockey. And we have to look at the accomplishments, not the personality. He's not David Stern. He's not as media savvy. He's not as sociable in many ways. But the work got done. This is not a popularity contest. It's a productivity contest. And on that end, Gary Bettman did the job for the NHL. He took an NBA mentality, working under David Stern and learning the ropes from David Stern and turning the NHL into a much more modern marketing product and having people outside of Canada, in the U.S. and around the world, love and adore the sport of hockey and connect with NHL teams. The NHL is a very media-savvy league, a very tech-savvy league, and a lot of that is due to the commissioner. So congratulations to Gary Bettman. Not a popular choice necessarily, but a well-deserved induction into Hockey Hall of Fame. You're listening to Focus. Follow me on Twitter @RealRayLalonde and share the podcast and the links with friends and family. You can listen to all podcasts on SoundCloud or YouTube. Thanks for being there. I'm Ray Lalonde. Talk to you soon.